What's good? I'm Miles Amadeus Proud,
And I'm Handsome Bane.
both members of the Hyphen Podcast Group and hosts of their best podcast. Enough with the humbleness. We're here today for two reasons.
To talk to you about the coronavirus.
And because old man Connolly had us deemed essential workers. But in all seriousness, this isn't a laughing matter. So here are some tips to keep you safe. If at all possible, limit the amount of time you have outside and around others.
Please, stay home.
When returning from the store, make sure to wash your hands and sanitize all packaging, as well as your shoes. The virus can live in your shoes for 5 days.
No, seriously. Stay home.
Please, don't visit friends or family. Don't congregate at the parks or anything social.
Stay home.
Well, that's all. Please be safe and take this as serious as it is. Believe it or not, this is going to be life as we know it for a while. Thank you for your time. Blurred up.
I swear to God, if one of you stupid niggas get my mom sick, you'll have to stand behind God when I see you. I'll blow
This
your
has been a
lungs.
public service announcement brought to you by the Hyphen Podcast Group.
You gotta isolate the sick, and I mean really isolate them. We gotta get everybody else back into the houses. We gotta keep them there. We're doing that. No, we're not doing it because I just drove through 100 people. And if one of them has got it, then 10 of them have got it. And if one of them gets out, then we're in deep fucking shit.
Hey y'all, it's a podcast called Fresh.
Hey yo, what up? Welcome back to a podcast called Fresh, special quarantine podcast edition part 2. This time I brought some help. I got my homie here, Doc.
Hello.
Woman of many words. But yeah, we hoping everybody is doing okay with y'all quarantining. Hopefully nobody listening to this is affected as far as having the COVID-19 or anything like that. And if you're bored, of course, listen to this, and we got some reviews for you. We're going to start off with this. I don't know if you guys have heard of this comic called, The Wicked and Divine, I think. And we reviewed, the trade paperbacks of volumes 1 through 4. So we're going to hop into that before we get into this. Doc, what kind of impressions did you have, what kind of expectations, I guess, what did you think before you started reading the comic?
I wasn't really sure what I was getting into. The name was intriguing. I was expecting to be like a little more dark, I suppose.
Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't get to 4, but the first 3, I don't know. The first one was actually very fun. I thought it was funny. I thought Lucifer, son of the morning. The character for that one was very hilarious. They were like quick-witted, hilarious, silly, lots of puns. After that character was not in the, because I don't want to try to put too many spoilers. After she was killed, it kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just get to that the first review. And she corrected me. It's volumes 1 through 3. I apologize for that. We're supposed to have 4. We're just gonna do 1 through 3. I liked starting off with the part 1 or whatever. I liked a little quote they had at the beginning. It said, "Oh Faustus, how hast thou but one bare hour to live, and then thou must be damned perpetually. Stand still in ever moving spheres of heaven, that time may cease and midnight never come." Then it hits you up with boom, boom, boom from the Venga Boys. So that pretty much, as weird as it is, it sets the tone for the entire comic.
Yeah, very much so.
It summed it up. Like first I thought it was stupid, but looking back, it perfectly summed this up. And just like I liked the first page, just the look of like this the character of Lucifer was almost too good for this comic. Like she should be like have her own thing. It's like almost seems like it was a device for this character. Also, I think it's funny if you think of the devil, I would have to think a white woman of that caliber would be the devil. If they had to be the devil, I'm not saying all white women are the devil, but if the devil was a white woman like Lucifer,
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your main squeeze, the devil.
I would not be surprised. Also, I think old girl from Saturday Night Live, Kate McKinnon.
No, I'm not familiar with that person.
Oh, you gotta look her up. After, like, if they did a movie, that's who I swear. If you get a chance, like, Google it. She's like, I swear that's who would play her or whatever. But just from the beginning, from what I've seen, and of course, Doc, jump in whenever you want to. Just the character of Lucy is just like she's driving the show, and I guess the plot is basically it's like, which I think would make for a dope, and I always say this, a dope TV series, like a TV show. Because basically it's like gods live on Earth, but the gods only live for like 2 years. And they exist only to inspire people. So like all of them like do some form of music or low key a different genre of music, and they're all like idols and celebrities and stuff like that. So it's pretty dope, and they all like they do miracles and stuff like that. So it's like they're trying to I guess fit in with the world, help people, but at the same time they're kind of above them and everything like that. But we're not gonna give out a whole bunch of this, even though I know I spoil shit a lot, but we're gonna try to keep it to a little minimum with this. But it was just cool. Main character, what's her name? Laura.
Yeah, Laura. She's like your typical like teen that doesn't know what she wants to do. She has like no guidance in herself. She doesn't know what she wants out of life. That kind of person. But she knows something. She knows something is inside of her. She just doesn't know how to project it to the rest of the world.
Right. Yeah. So she's hanging around. She's really deep into like all these deities, which is also, I've said it before, I thought it was funny that all the celebrities in this comic pretty much are gods. So she's getting in close with them, and then a series of events happen where someone they end up having to take Lucy, Lucifer, to jail, who has one of the illest, coolest moments ever. You know you're chill as hell when snipers are firing on you, and you tell somebody, "Hey, hold my cigarette real quick while I handle this."
Which is, you know what? Honestly, I don't know how I'm into mythology and stuff like that. And kind of like the way that Lucifer is always portrayed in any kind of story. That's the attitude that he has. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. What? Hold this. Hold a second. I got this. It's just a moment. And then get back to like nothing happened.
Nothing happened. And it's so dope how Lucifer is. And it's funny that if you peep it later on, all of these people are gods. But then, like, Doc had just peeped me to the other day that Lucifer is not a god. And it was just kind of interesting how it plays out with the rest of the story. But I just like how they had another part where like they sent Lucifer to like Lucifer or Lucy went to trial for supposedly killing these people. The premise of this is so ill. First of all, the premise of Satan in court is funny as hell as itself. Then second of all, you go that Satan's in court and has a good ass point. Supposedly she made these people's heads explode. So she's hitting the judge with like, listen, I didn't do it. And if you can prove I did it, show me the science that proves how I snapped my fingers and somebody's head exploded. He was like, well, this and that. Or you could legally make me a god. I don't know what to tell you, but you're the boss. So if you want to make me a god, then go ahead, I'll be a god.
Your move, holy man.
So long story short, she was just saying, basically the whole trial, which was true in true Satan fashion. This whole trial is about me snapping my finger and what happened after I snapped my finger. And you have to prove that one has something to do with the other. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, look, if I snap my finger, snap, judge's heads explode. So then they're like, and they put Lucy in jail. And it's like, and then from there they had me. I'm like, okay, this is kind of a nice whodunit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then of course, just like with true gods, none of them like each other. But we'll get into that later. But they had another scene which I thought was pretty cool, a panel or page of when Laura was Wikipediaing or Googling the names of the gods and stuff. And I thought it was really cool that like while she was doing it, the names of the sites were like stuff that she was thinking of. Like eventually she started getting stuff that says site with no relevance, blah, blah, blah. Another site, blah, blah, blah. Am I going to have to open up a second search page? And it was like, okay, it's like, I like the even with just how Laura is, she's cool. It's not lame. I like the art. The art is really nice. It's not super duper great, but it's definitely distinctive. Like if I saw that, I'm like, okay. And oh man, some of these covers they got, I would put those on the wall for real.
Oh my gosh, yes. Most of those variant covers, especially ones at the end, I really like those. Like, why couldn't that be like the actual thing?
Yeah, that junk was stupid good.
It was. A lot of them were really nice. Especially I love the ones, I'm sorry, my pop thingy keeps falling.
We're all working from work. It's okay. They understand. We're working from home, rather.
It's like a spread in one of I forget if it's volume 1 or volume 2 or Ball, where he's like got the like him in the middle, and he's like another character. I kind of liked him a lot too because he's saying, you know what, I declare myself a god before I was a god.
When someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
So I don't know.
Yeah, he was like, y'all just peeping what I already knew.
He's like every rapper between like 2006 to 2000 now.
Yeah, he pretty much is. He's like 50 Cent if he was a demigod.
Yes, that's it. 50 Cent and a few other ones I would have tossed in there. Like probably P. Diddy thinks of himself that way.
Oh yeah, P definitely did.
But yes, a lot of variant covers are really, really well done. I really like those.
Yeah, and it's just that, and then it's I would almost say the writing, but just definitely the writing for Lucifer. Just even with the part when she's in jail, you got like not even a little bit of cocaine. Then she says, "What kind of teenager are you that you don't have a Class A drug on you? Has the Daily Mail been lying to me?"
Just lots and lots of jokes. Even when she first came to see her in jail, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to consummate
Yeah,
our meeting." And I've been told I got a wicked tongue, but even I can't go through the glass. I was like,
glass.
oh my god. They sat down and they had a lot of good writing sessions for this. I could tell they had fun with this one.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they had a story. They thought of Lucifer first, and then everything else was around her. But I think also because of what happened to her later, it plays a more poignant point. Then it's like, then later on, they get into the other gods, like the gods of the underworld. And there's one thing I really like about this series, like their portrayals of every time Laura goes into the underworld. I think it's really dope. Like the first time they had her going down in the subway, it's dark and progressively darker, and like the only light is around Laura's head. It looks like she's like a holy or something, or slightly different from everybody else. I thought that was really dope.
I don't think I paid attention to that.
Oh yeah. I peeped it and I was like, oh okay. And then we got the let's see. Oh yeah, my man Botmit made one hell of an entrance. That jughead took me back. I was like, what the hell is going on, man?
Baphomet, he is hilarious.
Baphomet, yeah.
He is another one. He was funny. He had it's like all the supposedly evil deities are the funniest ones because they don't care.
Oh, the most interesting. Yeah, they don't care at all. But then it was just really interesting. Like he came out with like, I guess they were coming to see I can't remember her now.
The Morgan, yeah.
Yeah. Who's another person who I would think is interesting in herself. She's 3 goddesses at once, which is dope as hell. But anyway, like he came out with her head, like she's dead, blah, blah, blah. Then he had the head singing about his graces and stuff. Then the Morgan that turned, like she's 3 people. She turned to like one is of I think a god of
war,
death, and I forgot what the other one is, but she's 3 of them in one. Then she came out and she started about to whoop his ass and stuff. And then Laura had to, she picked up the fake head and started doing Shakespeare with it.
Yeah. Because they was about to kill everybody else around her, to be honest, because she was mad.
Yeah, they was about to kill everybody. And then she did Shakespeare and it made them think like, oh, okay. And then right there at that point in the comic, I was thinking like, okay, because I was almost losing interest. And I was like, all right, I'm back. Then my man Ball came in, man. And he came in so hard with the foot. I don't even know. This line is either really good or really corny. My man said, if you're going to be talking about me behind my back,
make sure it's behind my back. Yes. I thought that was a good line. They had a lot of good one-liners. They did. I was like, oh, that's dope. Okay, he coming in hard.
Yeah, a couple of like they was talking like what happened? They was talking shit about him, and the whole conversation was like, yeah, you don't need to talk shit about him. Blah, 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 this and that. And they was being quiet. Like, he ain't going to hear shit. He popped up. Like, the first thing about popping shit about me is that if you're going to do it behind my back, make sure you behind my back. He dope as hell.
He was.
Yeah. Then they have the pantheon of heroes, of gods. They have the pantheon. And just Laura interacting with them. I think I like how she has this almost like she's not really, she's off it. Like, she's a fan. I like how she's a fan, but how she keeps it to herself. Like when they had the point when he was like, yeah, you listen to my music too, don't you?
It's like, of course I do. Yes, it is. I love everything about you. This is like, nah, play it cool.
It's all right.
Nailed it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Nailed it. That was cute. I like that a lot, yes.
Yeah, I like that too. And I like how like she really had liked them and like she had an admiration for all of them. But like how, of course, it's the classic story. Someone from the outside cares more about the people than they actually do about each other. And she really wants to save Lucifer, who's in jail. So let me think. But yeah, I'm mad. So basically, as you would expect, Lucy breaks out of jail. They figure out they can't do anything. The conspiracy is starting to show because they have this what's her Anake or whatever the lady's name is. She's like the nanny of the Muppet Babies of gods. So she's the one who keeps them in check and she gives them their powers and stuff like that. And they went to her and they basically was like, well, shit, Lucy got a line. She got to get what she got to get. Of course, Laura, true, fashion. It's like, oh, fuck y'all. I'm going to do it myself. And she can't. So Lucifer, which is ill as hell the whole time, she's like, well, fuck it. If they can't save me, I'm out this bitch. So she breaks out.
She just, like, well, do you at least have one cigarette? Give me that. I'm out here. I'm doing this. Forget it. Ain't nothing y'all can do to really stop me. It's just like, what's the point of being good? I know I'm going to be dead in 2 years. What's the point of me standing here wasting my time? I ain't got no time to waste.
Right. And that's another thing I think was a really cool underlying part of this again, which I think they can make it into a TV show, is that nigga, you're a god, but for 2 years. And that's like a thing that hangs over all of their heads. It's like there's time they've walked in and caught one of them crying. Because all of them become gods like in their prime, like in their teens or in their 20s. It's not like nobody who's late in life. They're all in their mid-20s at the oldest. So it's like you do this. It's like it's 2 years, man. 2 years. And it's crazy. Like you get to change the world for 2 years, but after that, then supposedly I guess they come back, what was it, every 96 years?
About so, yeah.
Then I also thought it was ill that Lucy had a soundtrack on her. They played a soundtrack for her escape. I thought that was kind of ill. They showed you the music she was playing and she escaped, and it was just so ill. She's just such a badass. And it was like, you can't do that. She was like, what? I'm just going out for coffee.
And it was funny. She didn't even go far. She was like a block away, walking away with the coffee in her hand.
Then another thing I think was funny as far as Lucy being the devil, which I think was funny. You find out that I guess Laura's friend or someone eventually becomes her friend. This I can't remember the chick's name. She's a reporter.
Oh, Cassandra,
yeah. And it's funny that like Lucy and Cassandra was talking earlier. Then Lucy said something which made no context to anything that you didn't know. And then Cassandra got pissed. Then later on you found out, oh yeah, about that. Sorry, I ousted you in front of everybody. And Cassandra is a transsexual. So
that seemed kind of out of character to be like, whoa, wait a minute, you apologizing? What you apologizing for?
But yeah, in the same sense that I didn't expect forgiveness, that was kind of a bum thing for me to do. But, and it's just how Satan, it was cool because I say Lucifer was irredeemable, but in true Lucifer fashion, the most honest person you'd probably meet. Lucifer will lie to you and then tell you, like, if she told Laura, listen, if you get me out of here, blah, 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 I can give you my power. I can give you some powers. I can put you on. She was like, for real? Yeah, you got to help me. So right before she left, she was like, yeah, that power shit I was talking about? Yeah, I lied.
Pretty much is. Like, you got to realize people lie. That's life.
Yeah, people lie. That's what it is. So then it's like, so eventually they get her to talking to Lucy and they get it to her like, all right, we got to go. We got to get you to the underworld to save your name. Soon as she gets out, a little girl with Anaki or whatever, who's the head lady, she takes her head off.
Yep.
So then it's it's just And to me, that was an ill way to end that volume. I was just like, wow, man. So the first thing you think is Lucy becomes the new Lucifer. Laura becomes the new Lucifer. And even the last scene, which I think is an ill little picture, is you got, the Morgan, she's in all black. You got Cassandra in all black, her person in all black. You got what's that? The Japanese chick. I can't remember her name.
Amaterasu.
There you go. See, it sounds stupid when I say it. But yeah, then it's like she's holding Lucy's body who has no head. And if you look at it, it's almost like Laura's head is on top of Lucy's body. So it kind of makes you subconsciously maybe think that, oh, Laura's the new Lucifer. And then you start the next one. I'm mad, my man. I got my man looking like Prince. I
was Inanna.
Yeah, Inanna. I'm
thinking
just like, man.
Prince mixed with Freddie Mercury. That's what I was thinking.
Also another thing I seen, they had these shirts and I wanted that said Lucifer died for our sins.
Not to lie, I kind of like the shirt too. I thought it was cute.
Oh, that shirt was hard as hell. Nice. But you couldn't wear it.
Again, the details they have, just the minor little details they put into it, is really nice, honestly. They really sat and really thought this entire thing out from start to finish. The overall look is just amazing. It makes you feel like it's a real thing that really happened. Like, oh wow, they had t-shirts, they had merch, they had everything. But all these characters, it was amazing. I loved it.
It seems alive. It seems like a world unto itself. So it's like after that, she meets him and then they talking. And basically we get into a whodunit. And then another scene I liked is when my man Bahamut took Laura to the underworld. And I thought another thing that was an ill scene because it's her walking down this hallway. He's talking to her. They're walking down and it's like going through random doors and stuff. And they're going deeper and deeper into the underworld. And I just think like the scenes and how they do it is just dope and little differences in lighting and stuff. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting to me because I figure they have a thing where they put emphasis on the difference between underworld and the above world.
Yeah, they really want to make sure, like, it's separate. Like, up there is the good and light, and down here is nothing that's worth seeing,
Yeah, it's nothing good down there.
And another thing I noticed, which I pointed out to you, like, and I really started to see it after I said it too. I look back at all the other characters, how they like relate to, like we just pointed out how the one guy was like Prince And I said
Yep.
Freddie Mercury. I looked at him again, like, oh my gosh, each one of these is like some kind of celebrity that I can recognize. Like I say,
That's
Sakumet
dope, right?
looked like Rihanna.
Yep.
The Morgan that's pretty much Evanescence. That's Amy Lee. Baphomet is like every generic rocker ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just funny to me. Dionysus when he
Yeah.
appeared,
I
that was
thought that was dope.
cool. I thought Moby.
Of course, yeah, Moby, of course. And it's just, I think it's dope. And like, then you look into that, each one low key is a genre of music into themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, if they did this and made this a show, you could put out a CD per season and have each artist on the show actually drop an album as the characters. That shit would be dope.
It would be.
To me, I think so.
It would be. The soundtrack would pretty much sell itself, honestly.
It'd be like Carol on Tuesday,
Yeah.
but with God.
Yeah.
Around this time, I kind of started getting a little bit taken off because they started making just new gods. And it started to me feeling like almost like high school science, just like fiction books and stuff. But I'm still into it though.
Yeah, I told you it deteriorated into a young adult novel after
Yeah, it did.
after they killed Lucy. That's what it turned into. Because you started getting you started getting into the romance between the Morgan and her and Baphomet and their high school romance and all that, and you start getting to like the backstories, and it's kind of like, do I really care about the backstories?
And I think it's interesting. I just think it's a better way it could have been told. Because like all of them have interesting backstories if you just need to get into them the right way and told the right way. And even just talking about that, like another side note, I hate when you can figure out the killer from like the beginning of a series or like of a whodunit. It kind of, and I always like to feel like I do, and then you pull the rug out from underneath me like they did on Bleach. Plug. But side note, this one who you think did it is behind the killings. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's we haven't finished it, so we only got to volume 3, so we don't know what the hell is going on later. We're gonna try to finish that and get to it, but I don't know. It's let me think. I'm going over these here notes. I'm getting to the end of my notes. Dang, I already said about the Netflix, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm nitpicky a little bit, but I think like they were just being real gratuitous with the nudity and sex after a while. I'm all for for that stuff. But then again, I guess if you're a god, what's the point? But I think who is my man Woden? Whoever is it.
Woden, yeah.
That guy, wow, he is fucked up, dog.
And it's funny because you remember when they showed how each guy got chosen or whatever, and they got to his story. Everybody else said, "Oh, you will be loved, you will be this." When she was talking to him, "You will be hated. No one will like you. You're gonna be trash.
No one will love you."
It's like you are Woden. It's like, wow, holy crap! Can I not have this?
And I guess we're in this section with this part talk about Woden. I think when old girl Anaki or whatever, she cut him so fucking deep. Oh, he had this part where she was like, yeah, blah blah blah, move my body. I got some bodies. I need you to get them. He was like, I think you got me mistaken for a serf.
She said, "You are lower than a serf. Are you kidding me?" She said, "You are garbage. You are trash. You will do what I tell you to do." And that is it. You are not even a god. You are a servant to the gods. All right?
She said, long as I know what I know and you know what I know about you, you'll do what I tell you and shut up.
Pretty much.
And he did that shit.
He's like, okay, you're all right. I will do it. Oh, man.
I guess we'll just end this section on the review right here. I would say, I don't know, because I haven't finished it, I'm going to have to get some closure. Hopefully we can do another one and get this knocked out. But I would review. I would say I would recommend it. I would recommend it. It's one only problem I would have is I think they changed the artist halfway through, and I'm kind of nitpicky, but that's just me. But all in all, it was an interesting read. I would recommend it. What you say, Doc?
For the part, I know what part you're talking about. I think for that part, they just did it for that to like kind of speed through some of the backstories a little bit. So to give everybody like their own little version, like, you can see it through their eyes or whatever. Because once you got to Sakumet, it really got like the whole art style just deteriorated, like a kid drew it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and it was that art was with like you said, with the covers and stuff. And I'm trying to post some stuff online. Like these covers are dope. Like they had one of my man Ball. I guess he's like 50 Cent. Now I got it. 50 Cent, Diddy, and Kanye West.
There we go.
That's who he is.
There we go. Yep, that's it. That's exactly who he is.
That's who he is. he has this picture of him like in like looks like he's in heaven. He's got like life bowing to him, death bowing to him, angels, Egyptian gods. And it's like the most vainglorious picture you could ever like. It's ill. Like we were talking about that like in the chat between us. Like, dog, that junk is just ill. I'd put that shit on my wall today.
And it's funny because I think it's in the what is it? What's the place they call it? Valhalla. So that's what you see
Yeah,
when you that's
Valhalla.
when you first get there. That's what you see is his picture because they all got their own little sections and rooms and stuff. It was funny. I thought it was funny. I do. I liked it though. Go ahead. I liked it though.
So you would recommend it?
Oh yeah, I would highly recommend giving it a read. Like I say, I always want stuff to go a little bit, sometimes a little bit darker than what it was supposed to go. But like I said, we only saw the first 3 volumes. It could probably keep going in like a much more. It could probably deteriorate into all madness for all we know. I did look up though. I think it maxes out at volume 9 because they ended the series last year. I think so. There is an ending in sight.
All right. Well, we will make sure we get that done because I got a lot of free time. We're gonna be trying to get y'all some extra quarantine additions to this, but we're about to take a break and we're gonna come back with our review of the New Nerds. And yeah, so peace out. We'll be back. Blurred up.
What's good? My name's Quentin, and I'm the newest sponsor of a podcast called Fresh. I'm sure you're asking yourself, what did this brother do? I'm glad you're thinking that. I reduce the stress as well as provide good mental health to the community. That's right, your boy Q sells medical cannabis. And before you go judging, we live in Detroit, so it's legal here. I got Kush, OG, OG Kush, Diesel, Diesel Kush, Undertaker, Undertaker Kush, even some of that HBK too. We got that Trump Kush. You know that shit smells good, but smokes like Reggie's. We got that Pokemon Kush for you niggas playing Sword and Shield. I even got the rare shiny Pokemon Kush too. So hit me up on Facebook or get my number from Miles. Thanks for your time. I'm Quentin.
It's a podcast called Fresh, and you better not let that door slam.
Yo, what up? We are back. A podcast called Fresh. I am Maps. That is Doc. And this is another, well, not another, it's the same damn episode. I'm talking about another. We back. All right, there you go. So we are ending this up and reviewing a new series, or I guess you can call it a series. I seen it was on Amazon Prime. It's called The New Nerds. It caught my eye because it has a cool little cartoon picture of like a black chick with like purple hair and some big ass like Grace Jones sunglasses, and it looks really cool. And I wanted to get into it because if y'all know, we are blurred culture and nerd culture. So I'm like, bet, I told Doc to check it out, and I checked it out, and I hate to say it, I was slightly underwhelmed. I expected a lot more. I don't know if it was something that they were doing where they were just testing the waters or something. And I just looked at it like a couple of them were cool. I think the idea was straight. I definitely made sure I got my Amazon Prime, and I canceled it right after because I got it just to support that. But I don't know. It's just like they only had like 10 minutes per person.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's just I don't know. Like the first guy, he was an animator, and I'm gonna check out his manga. It seemed pretty cool, and he seemed like he was talking about just doing animation and cartoons and stuff like that. And he seemed cool, and it's just he was probably one of the few that I really thought like, all right, he's for real about that life. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. What you think, Doc?
All right, let me just describe what it said, what the show was supposed to be about.
Oh, that would help.
I got it written down. It says, this docuseries explores black nerds in their true form and asks if their interests are something new or just unknown. Because I don't know, I guess it seems if when black people start liking stuff, it's like, oh, you guys like that? It's like, yeah, we're people just like you. And I think it was kind of a miss for me as well. Because like I say, they only had 10 minutes. It seems they could have went a little further, gave another 10 minutes to really show how they're into the lifestyle, like how they're really into this kind of stuff. Like you got some truth in that. The last guy, I want to say, I don't know if you got to the last little section with the computer programmers.
Yeah.
He said everybody's a fan of something. Everybody's a fanatic about something. You got your sports fans, music fans, blah, blah, blah. But and nerd culture is more than just anime and video games. But these people they presented were into that kind of stuff, and it's like the things they mentioned. It was like
Yeah, it was
use
yeah.
by will call us every black person likes Dragon Ball Z and Smash Brothers. It's like, and I guess I don't know. It's just more they could have done. It's more they could have said. I don't want to say that those are bad series in per se. I mean, I grew up watching those things, but at the same time, it was like just a gateway into other things that I did get a chance to see. But I don't. That's just talking about what you know. I don't know. It just seemed it was lacking. It was very, very lacking. They needed to present more information. I think there's more than to just Dragon Ball Z and Smash Brothers.
Like the second chick they had on there, she was cool. I forgot her name, woman, lady, whatever. But I just felt like they could have did better. Like I liked the Nintendo thing and the cute little chick they had talking about. And I had to knock her down how she talked about how she went from coding and learned it all herself. I think they should touch a little bit more on that shit. That was more important to me. Like, hey, Nintendo has black people, or they had a video game conference. I think that should have been an episode itself, just about a black people, all these black programmers and developers coming together. I never heard of this shit.
Yeah, the two brothers that were there presented actually, they pretty much they taught themselves the codes. They want to do video games. We haven't had a single actual lesson. We didn't go to anybody's school. We just sat down and this is something we was passionate about. And you're right, that could have been its own little 30-minute, an hour long documentary talking about not just them, everybody else that's kind of like pushing towards making their own thing. Even with the first guy, he was another one. He did go to art school if I remember, and he started out actually doing animation, but he actually is moving more towards comics because he feels that's more something he's more passionate about now. And he's actually self-publishing. There's kind of stuff like there's more stuff they could have went into. Even with the cosplaying girl, they only barely touched on the stuff that she does cosplay. I got friends that cosplay, and like I know I guess they were trying to keep it bubbly. They were just trying to keep it in the light, but in that own little community itself, they have so much like hate against them.
Hey.
It is insane. I swear to God, the things I've seen from my friends is it's heartbreaking, honestly. And it's not even just like from even on the outside, but even sometimes on the inside from your own people that are like the colorism. It's crazy. I don't know, but I felt they could have did more. They really could have done more.
I feel like they didn't ruffle any feathers, and like you was just saying, you could have did a series just off cosplaying alone. Like if even for me, and like I was saying, I felt weird because I just felt like and it's weird for me being a man saying this, that I felt like the representation they had of the old girl women, it just was real narrow and bland. Because I would say I know awesome cool people like yourself, a lot of my other friends, hell, Danny, people who are into a lot of shit. Like hell, I'm cool with Doc. We got cool because I was like, yeah, I fuck with Sailor Moon too. She fucking loves Sailor Moon. I didn't like Sailor Moon when I was little. It was the only thing that came on during December on Channel 20. So after a while, I got to the point I got to see what the fuck happens. Well, last episode they was on the moon. I got to see how this shit plays out. So I'm out there watching Sailor Moon. I didn't know I was gonna have 4 daughters when I got older. Trying to tell my daughters about stuff. They got into Sailor Moon. I'm buying them stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, this and that. But it's a lot of different levels of people who are just into real video games. Like and it's like they had like I don't know. It's just they could have went so much deeper. Just onto like you were saying with the cosplay, and then you got even with the colorism because there's not a lot of black stuff you can do, and or people who are quote unquote black, then they say we don't want you to do that because that character is white. A lot of that stuff, I just think they didn't want to ruffle any feathers. They didn't want to go deeper than it needed to be. They could have went into representation in video games, just like how the first thing when new Pokemon came out, they was like, "You can make yourself black, nigga." Yes.
Oh my God, I said that too. I was so happy. It's like, oh, we can be black now. Oh wow, you better believe it.
Yeah, just how as being dark skinned, knowing that for the longest they did not have our shade. You was either charcoal black or light skinned. That was it. That's all you got. And it was like we talking like you look like a demon black. That's the only thing they had. Or then you had that, but then you had to have a white hairstyle. They didn't have any black hairstyles.
Somebody else made a joke too. It's like I'm sick and tired of these game designers coming out like these same 3 black hairstyles. Either you got an afro, some messed up braids, or a messed up hair, or you're bald. It's like come on.
Bald. That's it.
Oh
but
my goodness.
I think the premise of New Nerds it had my interest. I thought it was nice. I hope they expand on that. Maybe this 3 episodes they did with just testing the water. I don't know, but just I guess we are just some OG blurs because I'm thinking like, dude, y'all talking about Smash Brothers and and they did Dragon Ball Z. Y'all ain't got no deep cuts, but then again, I guess that's what that one guy who was talking about. excuse me, I watched that video a while ago about Dragon Ball Z being racist.
Oh, gosh, I don't want to butcher his name too much. Yadia. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna say the guy from Part 3,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the
episode
dude
3,
from part 3.
the comedian writer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like. I mean, they all seem like they have like a level of stuff that they probably do watch. That they probably didn't want to put too many vague things out there. I say name the vague stuff. Name the stuff nobody has ever seen before, so they know that you are like really, really hardcore into it, not just the things you've seen on Cartoon Network. Don't get me wrong. I grew up on Cartoon Network, and that's before I didn't get the internet to 2003. So whatever I saw on TV, that was all I knew until I got the internet, and I could get further and further into it. But and I'm not gonna lie, Cartoon Network had some actual pretty good series that you could have touched down on,
Oh
like
hell yeah, hell
um,
yeah. That's an episode to itself.
Deep Submarine #6. That was a deep show. A whole bunch of stuff they could have touched down on, but I guess they wanted to say things that people recognize because the whole world knows Dragon Ball Z. The whole world
Cause I'm
knows
like,
Smash
nigga,
Brothers.
you didn't make it to Outlaw Star. It was some good cuts on Toonami, dude.
Yep.
Outlaw Star. Some of them said Samurai Champloo and stuff, but I'm like, come on, dog. Even if you said Kenshin, that's another thing my man was talking about who did the Dragon Ball Z was racist, and he was saying that I guess people like ourselves would be like, if you just are into anime, Dragon Ball Z, you're really not into anime. And in a way, I say that it's like I look at it like if you just like I like just one kind of music, then you don't like music. You just like that kind of music. I love music. I listen to everything. If you like anime, you can watch all kind of anime. You know, but just to be like, it's like to be like I love hip hop. I only listen to Fresh Prince. There's nothing wrong with liking Fresh Prince, but your information is very
Yeah.
limited when you say
And
that.
that's kind of what they're portraying as like, oh, you're the quote unquote new nerds or you're black people and this is what you like. Don't you know anything else? And I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm gonna be like a gatekeeper.
Open the gate.
And that's the word I didn't want to try to touch down on. It's not that I'm saying it's wrong to like those things. There are other things that they could have mentioned. Like I say, it was lacking to me. They needed more information. They needed longer episodes for each person to really delve into their small little niche of what they like.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't have a soul to it. It was just like when you do a book report the day before, and it kind of show it's the information, but I can tell you didn't read the book. It's just what I need to know, and that's what it was. And it's like even like we were not even. I don't think we gatekeeping because I'm not knocking them. But if we want to if we can sit here and talk about Dragon Ball Z, I can get into it. I remember going back in the day buying a $30, $40 VHSs with 2 damn movies on that bitch because you couldn't find it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get back into it, we can get into it. I remember people buying fucking Japanese wall scrolls from Japan offline, and you can't even speak Japanese and read what the fuck you getting. We used to buy and get the books. When we get the books from Japan, couldn't read shit, and would just look through it and try to guess what happened. Like later, at some point, Goku gets long hair and it's gold. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, we can really get into it. And it's like I say, if you want to get in it, we can talk about. I remember back in the day, we both from Detroit. I don't know if you remember this. I remember on Sundays, Dragon Ball used to come on channel 20. And then this other show used to called it was a Techno Man. It was Techno Man and Techno Man Blade used to come on Sundays. I gave up my religion for this shit. I stopped going to church. I wish I was lying. I needed closure on Techno Man Blade and Dragon Ball, and it wasn't in the good book. All right. Uh-oh, look like we lost signal. Well, it appears, I guess Doc is, let's send her a message. All right, well, it said cut off for, I don't know. Shout out to Zencaster for giving out if you, it's got like unlimited, whatever for the, sorry, y'all, I'm real tired doing with these kids, teaching them shit, helping out. I'm tired as hell. But, yeah, just, texting her anyway. I guess, if you on Facebook, Doc has a page for What the Crap Entertainment. And some things she's taking commissions right now. Currently, she is affected by the coronavirus, and she's taking commissions to make a little bit of extra money. So I'm gonna try to get that to you guys and put it on the page because right now I don't know it. She was supposed to plug it, but yeah, what happens? We were spitting hot fire, and it got messed up. But anyway, she has a GoFundMe, I believe. Her cat. Damn you, Doc, for making me do this. Her cat has like a tumor, and the cat means a lot to her. She loves the cat, and we love Doc. So I'm gonna try to find it and put it on the Instagram, on the Facebook, and just try to get a couple dollars to Doc to help her cat. And I wish Doc wasn't such a close friend. There's a million jokes I can make off the top of my head right now. But I am an adult. I am a grown man, and I made my son a promise, and I'm going to fucking keep it. So, for Doc, I am Miles Amadeus Prower. She is Doc Connors. She got cut off, but I am still here. Thank you for listening. As always, remember, they can quarantine your body, but they cannot quarantine your mind. Take your mind, put it in a movie, put it in a book, put it in an anime, listen to this, whatever. I'm about to go play Pokemon after I get my kids to sleep, because your boy got a shiny berserker named the motherfucker Logan. It's dope as hell. But anyway, y'all, I'm about here, man. You know what I'm saying? Podcast called Fresh. Thank y'all for listening. Once again, I've gone over my limit for a very short episode of supposed to have been a quarantine cast, but this is what the fuck I do for y'all. All right, man. Blurred up. And on behalf of Doc, peace out.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. This has been a Hyphen Podcast Network production.
They're the bestest. I'm getting paid at exposure. Bye-bye.